Anyways, let's see how this accelerates. Oh, wow. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be going over the all-new Volvo V90 cross country. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Volvo here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this V90. This one is available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Mark. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 2-liter turbocharged and E-charged 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 29 on the highway. Now, power outputs are 295 horsepower at 5,400 RPMs and then 310 pound-feet of torque at 2,100 RPMs. And then it also does have a 48-volt mild hybrid system with regen braking that adds another 13 horsepower. Before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you can see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting off with the hood, the design is actually very simplistic. You guys can see mostly flat there in the center, well, perfectly flat, and then you kind of have little divots off to either side. And then coming down below, you guys can see we've got the signature Thor's Hammer LED daytime lights with the LED headlamps, and then notice the chrome there with the Volvo logo. There's a camera there at the center of the Volvo logo. Parking sensors at the bottom. We do have fog lights as well. And when you put it all together, this definitely has a cool, distinctive look, and it's also definitely Volvo. And look at the lighting as soon as they go down. Those lights are so bright. Coming on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 245, 45, 20 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see with the coloration and design on the wheels, I love the silver on the top, and then it's kind of like a satin finish below that, which looks really good. Looking at the side profile here, you guys can see we've got those prominent fender flares there in the front and in the rear. And, you know, this has that cool lifted, you know, station wagon type appearance, which I think looks really good. I love how the trim around the windows is also black. Just all matches. Now here's a quick look at the key fob. We got the Volvo logo there on the front, and then notice we have our lock function or unlock function, and then the opening here for the rear hatch. This right here is one of the big benefits of the V90. First off, you've got that cargo cover already built in and tons of storage space here in the back. And then notice we do have a 12-volt outlet there on the side. And then if you're wondering, you do have a spare tire underneath the loading floor. And look with the second row folded down. I mean, this thing, you could practically live in it. Now we do have these buttons up at the top to lock it and then lower it down, but I can also do this. Oh my gosh, it worked the first time. I didn't think that would happen. Now we do have Volvo's signature tail lights here, which looks super distinctive. And look at the animation when you unlock it. That's fun. And then you can see with all the rest of the badges, including the B6 badge, because that's powertrain. This has cross country there, and they do have more parking sensors. And then I want you guys to let me know what you think about the overall styling here with the new V90. Popping inside, we do have this beautiful wood trim, and you can see the metallic trim around that, and then the leather down below that. And I love how small the window control is. And you got the little unlock, and look at the handle itself. Really nice leather seats here in the rear as well. Legroom in the back of the cross country is fantastic. Let's got a little cargo net there, got a vent here on the side, and got my own climate zone with heated seats for the rear passengers, some more vents, and a charging port. And then headroom is also really solid. Now here's the front door panel. You've got more of that beautiful wood trim with the silver trim down below. We do have memory seats with this, and then again, I love the look of the handle there. And then look at all the leather padding, all of our window controls, mirror adjustments, and then there's a quick look at the mirrors. They do have blind spot monitoring. Really nice leather trim here for the seats, just like what you have in the rear. And then you can see here with our power adjustments on the side. Pretty normal pedal layout down below, and then this is just to open up the hatch, and then you got this for the vent, which I don't know, I like the control of that, and then more wood trim. We have this beautiful two-tone steering wheel with the black on the outside and the white on the interior. And then we have practical controls like your voice command control, some stuff for the center stack, and then you've got your cruise control there on the other side, and then turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock. Here is the center gauge cluster. You got the speed on the one side, you got the RPMs there on the other side, and then if I press the little pages button, well, it'll basically make the map appear or disappear depending on what you want. Now here's our backup camera. We do have trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Resolution's solid with it as well. I almost forgot to mention this also does have a 360 camera system, so you've got camera angles out of, well, the whole car, which is great. As for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, you guys can see that you've got all these little widgets for things like Apple CarPlay, and notice that response time is really solid with the system itself. So I think it's easy to use. You got that shortcut bar there at the bottom that I'm using consistently. Now, notice we pop over to the driving section. This will show us our driving modes. We have an off-road mode, so you're either on-road or off-road with the V90. And then here at the bottom, we have our little climate control menu that you can basically pull up that I apparently got impatient with. But you can see the whole setup right here. And then notice with these seats, they are heated, and then you do have a heated steering wheel on top of that. And so yeah, easy to use system. Some analog controls here for like, well, the radio, for example, and then some stuff for the climate. Lots of stuff happening here in the center, so we can open this up and it's kind of like a giant cup holder type situation. And then you actually just push this one forward and it kind of clicks into place. It's more storage. Shifter here for that 8-speed automatic, your twist for the engine stop, start, parking brake, and then auto hold. Center console has more nice leather trim on it and pretty decent storage. I love how that stitching goes through. And then with the glove box, all lined with felt. And look at the wood trim there on the face. And I do like the overall kind of like coloration of the dash. So up top here, you got some controls for the lights in the center. And notice it's just like a little slide with your finger and then it'll open. So I think that is pretty cool. Just makes you feel like you're in something more techy. Sorry about the glare, but here is the window sticker for this V90 Cross Country. This is a plus package if you guys are wondering. And notice base MSRP, $58,450. And then this one does have a few options added to it. After all options on this specific one, $63,885 is the total MSRP. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and let's set off. We are setting off in the V90 Cross Country, and it's actually been, you know, I think just over a year since I last was able to drive one of these, because oh no, it's actually in October. So yeah, it's been over a year. So last year, October, I got to drive this when this new powertrain first came out. And it was actually in a V90 Cross Country and I believe an XC60 as well. So it'll be interesting to see what I think about this. And this is actually a non-air suspension car. The one that I tested last year had air suspension. So I guess I'll be able to tell you guys if you should get air suspension or not. And what I'm noticing so far is, yeah, the air suspension definitely does make this feel like smoother. Because this one doesn't have it again. And yeah, it doesn't feel as like floaty, I guess, as the V90 with air suspension. But this is still a, you know, a big vehicle. It's a long wheelbase, and so it still is very comfortable right out of the box. Seat comfort's really good as well. I think that's another really big plus. Volvo's just good with their seat design. And yeah, I don't know, I like this cabin, the overall feel. Like, it feels cozy. I think that's a good way to describe Volvo cabins, is they just feel cozy. And also, something I want to mention, since I've been reviewing so many luxury cars over the past year, is the fit and finish with Volvo products is really, really good. You don't get the same level of fit and finish with a lot of the German automakers anymore. It seems like they've definitely kind of dropped the ball a bit, whereas with Volvo, yeah, it just seems like they pay a lot of attention and time to making sure that like look at this. Okay, the dash doesn't rattle, for example. I have an Audi this week, and the dash, like, I can jiggle it. So yeah, it just goes to show you know, where different automakers put their money. But anyways, let's see how this accelerates. Oh wow, super torquey. I've had quite a few people ask me about this new powertrain with how this feels compared to the previous version, because this technically has like slightly less power. This feels a lot better. You get way more torque right off the line, and it just, like, even though it doesn't have any more power, it feels more powerful. This just drives a lot better. I would much rather have this new version compared to the old, I think it's called the, let me know if I get my names wrong, but I think it was the T6, right? So to fully sum things up here with the V90, I love the station wagon appearance, and now that I have like a baby on the way, like stuff like this is really appealing to me. Interior is amazing. Volvo just does a really good job, again, with fit and finish, material use, all that, really solid. And so, yeah, as like a modern station wagon, I think they've done a fantastic job. I love how this drives. And if you're wondering if the new B6 powertrain is worth it, it's definitely worth it. The drivability is substantially better compared to the, again, I think it's the T6. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think about this new cross country. That's because something's up with our video on this V90. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Volvo here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this V90. Check out the info in the description down below. Ask for Mark if you have any questions. I'll see you.